everyone, I'm Luna. Welcome to Luna's Paranormal Adventures. So I'm just gonna jump right into it. This is my favorite personal paranormal experience because I just can't explain it, guys. I can't. So I love checking out abandoned buildings. I've been to a few. I'm no big shot urban explorer, but I do like to call myself an urban explorer just because it's not just abandoned buildings that I like to explore. I like to explore like the city, like graffiti and stuff. That's just my photography style. When I go out to these places, I take a lot of photos, I'll take videos. I just find it so beautiful, so fascinating. Abandoned buildings have so many untold stories. So this story does take place in an abandoned school out in the county. I've been there before with all different groups of friends. So I've been to this school previously and I've always heard stuff like moving around or like footsteps way on the other side of the school. It was always on the opposite side from where I'd been. Like it just sounded like rustling or moving, like I don't know. It was like really faint, like kind of hard to hear. I always just brushed it off like maybe it's my imagination. I never had any kind of up close and personal like experiences until this one night that I went. I think it was the third or fourth time that I've been there, and I was in the gym. I'm gonna be drawing like a little picture and adding this into the video so that you guys can see kind of what I'm talking about and like the distance and stuff, like, you know. So I was filming a Snapchat, just walking along the backside of the school, and you'll see in the picture like kind of about where I was and like how big, like it was a school gymnasium. It was, you know, a good size. I was, I think, further than halfway down towards the back. As I'm filming along the back, oh my gosh, I keep looking around because I don't want any spooks spooking me. It's 1 a.m. It's so spooky out, guys. Okay, so as I'm walking along the back, I'm filming with my phone, like along the back. I'm filming the graffiti and I hear a big bang in front of me. And at first I thought something fell from the ceiling or maybe my friend threw something. They were in the hallway at the time. You can hear them in the video, like their voices are really faint, but they're out in the hallway at the time. So I took out my flashlight. I had my flashlight on my phone that I was using, and I started looking on the ground like, what was that? What could it have been? And I don't see anything that could have made the noise. Like I was kind of confused at first. I was like what was this? Like it was a huge bang, like you'll hear in the video. It was like I can't even think of what it could be. So I'm gonna be playing the video for you guys. I might play it a few times just to like, so you can really hear, like really know what's going on. Oh my god. There were people who made like a bonfire in the middle of the gym. So there was like leaves, like anything you can think of, just little like pieces of paper, anything you could burn really, ashes, but nothing big and heavy that would have made that noise. So looking back on the video, I hear a metallic noise that I wanted to point out because I don't remember hearing that initially as it's happening, but when I look back on the video, I hear it in the video and I'm like I don't know, there's nothing metal on the floor, there's nothing that could have made that noise. Oh my god. So like I said, I was like, maybe my friend threw something, right? But when I think about it, when I think about the distance of the gymnasium, how big it is, and the fact that they were in the hallway, like, and picturing it in my mind, the school was dark, right? Like, we only had our phone flashlights, but they were in the hallway. Like I said, I'm gonna stress this I'm gonna stress this so hard. They were in the hallway, guys, and I was like way at the back of the gym. I feel like I keep hearing that fox running around, and I don't know if it's a fox or like a ghoul. Some of you might be thinking like, Luna, with all those noises you're hearing, is like you want to be spirited away. Maybe I do. Okay, so my friends are in the hallway, and I was like, maybe they threw something, maybe they, you know, threw something, but like it would have had to go over my head and then land right in front of me. And if you think about, like, I don't know if this is the correct word, like you know, the curvature of throwing things, the circle of like yeah. So I'm gonna draw a diagram because it would have had to be exact, guys. Like when I think about it in my head, like it would have had to be exact, and there's no way they could have done it. Like there's just no way. Like I'm just, so even if they could throw something like that far, it was dark. Like there's no way they could have seen how hard and far and accurate to throw it, right? Like it was dark. It was the middle of the night. Like I always go to these places at night. Never alone. Don't go alone. That's bad. Don't go alone. Always safety first. Bring a friend. Just don't go alone. Don't get spirited away. Don't die from abandoned buildings. Not fun. Later into the night, I pulled out my Ouija board. I brought it into the school and just like had it in my bag. So I ended up bringing it out. We were all in the gymnasium, set up on the stage. My Ouija board did not work. It's got a plastic planchette. It's not Hasbro. In my head, I've convinced myself that the Hasbro one is the legit one. This one is from the Ouija movie that I bought at, I think I got it at Mind Games, but it's kind of like a replica kind of thing. Like it's like, oh, you watched the Ouija movie? Well, here's your Ouija movie Ouija board. So it didn't work. I've used it a few times and none of the times it's worked. But we did hear like knocks and bangs throughout the gym. Like we heard them on the stage, we heard them throughout the floor, and each time we'd like look and see, and you know, I couldn't tell you what was making those noises because there was nothing on the ground really, like besides the papers and the leaves and the debris, like just like little light debris that I was talking about earlier. And both of my friends were within my vision or my peripheral vision, so there's no way that they were like stomping around or like making noises or anything. Like it's no way that it was any of them. My friend told me, like he went out a little bit and he came back and he's like, I just saw someone outside. And I was like, oh. Like when I hear, oh, there's someone outside, I think either neighbors or police, neighbors who will call the police. And I don't want to get in trouble, guys. Like I've never been arrested. I wouldn't know what to do. I just cry like a baby, like I'm sorry, I just want to take pictures. I think it's just really neat. So he said he saw someone, so I'm like, let's get the out of here. We packed up and left right away. It's funny, every time I've been to this abandoned school, it's been wintertime and snowing, and we did not see any footprints on the ground. It was snowing heavily at the time. You know, I don't know if he was just saying he saw someone to try and like spook me and his girlfriend, or like if he really did see someone who didn't leave footprints. So even if he didn't see someone, this is just still full of things I can't explain. I couldn't tell you guys how or why or what. So yeah, that's my favorite story. I hope you guys liked that video. I'm seeing the ghost. Hey demons, it's your boy. It's your boy Luna, come at me. Finger guns. Okay, so cold. I'm putting on my jacket, guys. I brought this flannel because it's actually my dad's jacket because it's cold out. I feel like overnight it just went from being summertime to being fall. It's like last week I was fine out here. Okay, so for my next story, this is gonna be also about abandoned buildings because in the same night, actually, in the same night, after the whole us packing up and leaving, we went to another abandoned building. This one's also out in the county. It's, oh man, should I even give away like what it is? I don't want to get in trouble, guys, because we kind of got found out. So for this location, it's an old military, I'm not exactly sure. I think it's like a psychiatric ward, I think. It is confirmed haunted. I'm pretty sure there was some ghost hunters that spent the night there. So we headed over there and we go through like the field to get there, and we go inside and I took lots of stunning photos. I'm probably gonna like show you guys some of the photos because I'm just so proud of them. They're so creepy, they're so haunting. I love abandoned buildings. I love it, guys. They're so pretty, just so you guys will see. They're great. They're great. And like I said, I love taking nighttime photography. There's just something so candid and creepy about it. I love it. So we're at abandoned building number 2 and we're walking down the hall. I'm taking photos, like I'm peeking inside each room, like taking photos, super creepy. We're walking down the hall, everything's fine, and then we hear someone like shouting, like screaming, and we're like, oh no. At first I thought it was a ghost, guys. I was like, oh my god, it's like a banshee, like just screaming at us. I was like, holy shit, like, oh, we found the ghost, like it's just screaming. But they had a flashlight, and then we quickly realized it was a security guard, I guess. It was like a lady, but the thing is, like, I can't remember her face, if that makes sense. It's hard to explain. When I go abandoned building exploring, I normally wear something warm, obviously, because I'm always, not only am I always cold, but it's always cold out for some reason. When I do go exploring, it's always like winter time. And so I have like sweatpants on, I have a sweatshirt on, just comfortable things to wear. And then I like to have something like in front of my mouth, just so that I'm not breathing in like the harsh, like pure abandoned building dust, like if that makes sense. Like I don't want to be breathing that in. So I had like a bandana. I probably looked like some kind of like burglar or thief because it was a white bandana, but I was in all black, and but you could see my eyes. It was like, so I tried to not look at her. I tried to make sure like she couldn't see me or like understand my being, like she can't tell who I was, kind of thing. I was just trying to hide as much as I can. I'm like, oh shit, please don't call the cops. I swear I'm a good person. And she's screaming. She's like, what are you guys doing here? My friend answers. He says, we're here taking photos. And she's like, no, you're not. So we start walking out. She's like escorting us outside. My friends said they saw 2 other people holding like guns. I didn't see that though. I think I saw 1 person or 2. Maybe I saw 2 people, but I don't remember seeing any guns. Like I don't, you know. So she starts escorting us out, but like from behind us, like we're walking in front and she's behind us. We're marching out of there. We're like, we're not looking back. We're like, holy shit, I don't want to be in trouble. I'm a good person. I have good intentions. So we're about halfway back to my car, and I looked back. I bit the bullet and looked back to make sure my friends were still following me. And so I saw my friends after I turned around, and we all just kind of looked back. Like I looked back at my one friend, he looked back at his girlfriend, she turned around and looked back. Like it was just this chain of like looking back, and then like that's where it stopped, because there was no one behind us after that. Like we looked back, and I had been under the impression that she was following us all the way back, or at least to the front of the property, because the property is pretty big and we walked through like this huge field. I don't know, we didn't see any cars, we didn't see any flashlights. That's the thing, we didn't see anybody with flashlights, we didn't see any like anything at all. There was nobody walking around, there was no like, there was nothing. I don't know. And then the lady was just gone and we couldn't, like, there was nobody else around. And honestly, after that point I was like, oh my god, what if she was a ghost? Like, what if she was a ghost? Like, I thought she was a ghost, and then I thought she was a person, and then when I didn't see her following us out anymore, I'm like, oh, she's a ghost. Like, she's a ghost that wanted us to get out of her resting place or something. I don't know. Oh my gosh, I still have no idea. I couldn't tell you guys what I think for sure about that one. Like, maybe it's a ghost, but at the same time, maybe she's just really stealthy. So I haven't been back there. So this, I believe, is my last one. If I think of any more ghost stories, I'll tell you guys. This one is about my Ouija board, because it doesn't stop at the school. It doesn't end there. Even though it didn't work, I do believe that there's something in it, or like something trying to communicate, but like through other means. Like something pissed at me, like, oh my god, your board doesn't work, listen here. So I go to conventions. I was on my way to YetiCon. I stopped by Scarborough to pick up a friend. Actually, backstory, rewind. Okay, so I'm not allowed to keep my Ouija board in my house because my mom's just like, no. And I'm like, I got you, because I don't want to curse the house. That's where we live. I don't want a ghost in there. No, thank you. It lived in my car. That was where it lived, in my car. Okay, so I empty out my trunk. I drove a hatchback at the time. Rest in peace. So I took it out to fit more costumes, and I put it in like my sunroom. It's like a side room. But like, that's where we keep our jackets and our shoes. Like, it's not our house, it's like the little side before you come into the house. So I put it in there. I kept it in there for the weekend, thinking everything would be fine. I just wanted more room for costumes. I was gonna have me plus 4 other people in my car, so it's gonna be loaded up. So I thought it would be okay to take it out for just one weekend. Just the one. So when I was in Scarborough going to pick up my friend, I was stopped at a light and I got rear-ended really bad. It totaled my car. Rest in peace. You know, it could just be a coincidence that it was the same day that I took my Ouija board out of its permanent home kind of deal. Like, that's my intended place for it to be. It was probably fine being there. And then like, I took it out, so I don't know if it was just a coincidence or if it was like the act of me removing the Ouija board from its like permanent location into a different location, and it just like got pissed off, and then it's like I was just cursed. I don't know. Like, I thought about it after I got rear-ended and like it totaled my car. I was like, wait a minute, I removed my Ouija board from my car. That's what happened. Being the person I am, like, I will stand by that. Like, that's the reason, because bad things don't happen to me. I was cursed. There's like this disinfectant stuff. I will spray people in the eyes with this if they come at me. Oh no, they're stopped. So that's it for all of my ghost stories that I can remember right now. I've never seen any cryptids or anything. Like, I've never seen any aliens or UFOs. I've always wanted to. I think it would be so neat to see a UFO like in real life. I live kind of close to an air base, so there's lots of stuff flying overhead, but never a UFO from what I've seen. I've heard stories that there's been UFOs around here, but I've never seen one. I've never seen like a Bigfoot or like a lake monster or anything. I used to live in BC. I've driven through Lake Okanagan, which has the Ogopogo. I've always kept an eye out, but I've never seen one. And there's of course, the Kootenai Mountains as well in British Columbia, through the Rockies that I've driven through. But I remember being a little kid, like driving through the Rockies, I always looked out my window. I'm like, where's Sasquatch? Where is he? So yeah, so that's it for my intro. I'm gonna go right to work on the creepy noises I've been hearing. I do have a video of those noises as well. Well, I guess it's mainly audio. You guys can't see much, but you'll hear it. And I did do some investigation as well on that, so yeah, stay tuned for my next video. Guys, I'm even crazy for being here. Like, the noises I heard the other night, I'm so scared. I'm like super nervous. I'm trying to do this quick.